Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to RTG TV for the final race of the week. And we're here in Catalonia, Spain, in Barcelona, at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. This circuit's had a few changes over the last few years, but the current configuration has 14 corners, 2 DRS zones. The 14 corners are 6 to the left and 8 to the right. We've got a 4.657 and 2.894 mile circuit for you today. The weather for this evening is going to be full sunshine for the whole event. The tyres that we are running today are the C3 soft, C2 mediums and C1 hard tyre, almost the hardest range in the Pirelli compounds. So we've got a 18 car grid and no reserves tonight, so we don't have to worry about pulling any reserves out at the end of the race. Nice and easy for me and Lee. The Drivers' Championship is as follows. The top 5 are Pippo Kennedy leading the championship on 103 points. Equal to that on points is Chuck on 103 as well. Quick Gamer is in third place. He's on 94, 91 points for Tiny, and Ginge is rounding out the top 5 on 84 points. We can definitely say there's 4 people fighting for this championship, and Ginge is right on the cusp of being there as well. Williams are leading the constructors on 149 points, 117 points for Aston Martin, and 111 points for the Ferrari outfit. And this season certainly shaping up to be an exciting one. I'm here back with Lee, and we're going to watch this intermediate championship unfold.
Yeah, it's always a little bit of excitement in the first qualifying session, of course, having this little intermediate battle that's going on recently. Just seen Looney Man there coming across the line with 128.399. Quite a way off of Super Striker's 115.938 on the intermediates. But yeah, like you said, this track has gone under quite a few changes over the past few years, and I would say that it has actually aided it in terms of having more battling. It seems to be a bit more of a flowing track rather than a bit more like, I would say, like Baku, where it's like stopping and like coming right down to slow speeds and everything. So yeah, I would say the way that it is now is a lot better. I do prefer especially the final couple of corners now.
Yeah, it's certainly a much better circuit. I think we always used to sort of sigh, didn't we, drop our shoulders a bit when we found out it was Spain for a race, but now actually I get more excited about it because it certainly throws up better races, especially in game format. I'm not too sure about how it is in real life, but in league racing it's very good. The only downside, I think they should have kept this corner here. We're riding on board with Matt F1, turn 10, the old turn 10 where it was the heavy braking zone into a 90-degree left-hander, better for overtaking, I think, but there you go. But there's certainly this last sector now much faster than it used to be. Used to be Monaco-esque and now more Silverstone-esque with the last 2 corners, and he goes fastest with 112.046. Super Striker has set the fastest lap up to now on the intermediates. The driver
GTR drowned.
So already starting to struggle, the Alpha Tauri driver. The intermediate championship still going on at the moment. The driver leading that championship is Tiny, who isn't going to be able to take a point today. He's had, or take that title for Spain. He's taken 3 of them so far, and Coix Gamer is the only other one that has taken that title. Super Striker at the moment, fastest on that intermediate, but we've got Ginge and Chuckle who are yet to finish their final laps. Chuckle being the first one up, and then Ginge just after that, and Chuckle now goes the fastest of the bunch, and here comes Ginge around the final corner. What time is he going to set? A 1:16.2, and that means, because the time on the clock is just about to hit the 10-minute mark, we've given a bit of leeway last week in Spa, but we won't this week, and that means Chuckle takes that point.
Nicely done anyway. Of course, we've got Lee now in the Red Bull. Goes third there, 1:12.483. So we've still got a couple of cars, four cars still to get out and set a time. Whether it be on any tyre really. We've got Chuck and Pippo Kennedy now on their out laps. Pippo Kennedy just coming through sector 3 now. And Chuck just coming around turn 9 of Kamsa. Is it Kamsa? Kamsa. Sorry, I just first time hearing that one. But yeah, let's see Pippo Kennedy how he's going to be able to do.
So Pippo Kennedy now started his attempt, just made his way through turn 3 of the Renault curve, now making his way up to Rapol for turn 4, and then we go over to the right hand side into the hairpin of Seat, which of course is the only, I think, Spanish car company obviously owned by the VW group, though, into turn 7 and 8, which is TV3, and now going up the hill. Haven't got the name of this corner like Lee does. Turn 9.
Kamsa,
yeah, that's it. I had heard it before, obviously before you. Turn 9, one of my favourites on this circuit as well. It's tricky to get it right, but when it does, it's super satisfying. Pippo Kennedy now setting purple sectors in the first 2. Is he going to make it 3 out of 3 as he comes through 13 of Eurocar, and then into the final corner of Catalunya? I got a different name. I think I got the updated one. Potentially 1:12.149, a tenth off Matt F1's time. Haven't been here in F123 in a full qualifying format, so we can't give you a benchmark time and a cut-off time, a provisional cut-off time from a previous event. As Chuck now makes his way towards the line, got himself pole once this season, and has always been in Q3 this season so far as well, as we're now just getting into the second half of the season. Looney Man here, I think, just started a lap into turns 1 and 2. Never been knocked out in Q1. We're only going to get 3 knocked out today. Made his way into Q3 more times than not.
Yeah, I'm having a look right now from Chuckle down. It's all intermediate times that have been set, so of course they will be going a lot quicker in just a few moments.
Super Striker now starting a proper attempt, but maybe not, fully putting all his cards down on the table, because he's on the medium tyre and should be able to get through on that medium potentially with the pace he has. But still, this was the driver with no name last week as well in Belgium, which I had to think about when doing the stats from that race in Belgium last week, which was a good one. Of course, as well, had to be on it as well, because Pippo Kennedy, which I think has been put into the rules now, that you're not allowed to retire until fully the end of the session, because he finished 3rd last week. And when I started doing it, I was like, oh, did he retire last week? But no, he didn't. So it's lucky I clicked back a couple of seconds to check, because he retired just after the checkered flag. So I think that's become a bit of a no-no now, because it gives admins and commentators headaches when doing stats and standings. So yeah. Super Striker now making his way to the line at 1:15 on his intermediate, a 1:12.7 on the mediums. Not as quick as Matthew on that medium tyre though, who literally just retired.
Yep, this in the pit lane it was, yeah. So
it was.
Yeah, so he's ready for next session. Of course, well, actually I just have to look at the leaderboard to be able to tell. But yeah, so he's he's finding himself that he's going to be comfortably through, and judging by how much time he's up on, it does look like it. Chuckle, just the way to start his lap now.
Stephen Jones up into the top 6, started his first race in RTG last week, and he got knocked out in Q1 last time around. Let's see if he gets into Q2 or maybe even to the holy grail of Q3 a little later on. And Ginge still down at the bottom of the field, but that was the intermediate time, setting personal best in the first couple of sectors. No surprise there, as this is his first lap on the dry tyre. Through the final corner, which is a wholly different animal than what it used to be on the old configuration of this circuit. And even though he does set a final purple sector, the other two are PBs, but it's a fastest overall in Q1 for the British driver in the British car.
Yep, nicely done there from him, getting almost getting into the 111s there. Wonder if we're going to end up seeing that today. Most likely will, judging by these times anyway.
Chuckle now coming towards the line as well as he goes through Eurocar, the penultimate corner, and then into the final corner, back down the start-finish straight, selling PBs in the first 2 sectors, and another PB in the third. Not fastest, though, on that front row in Q1.
Oh, but looking at the gap between these 3 here is absolutely insane. We'll have a wee quick peek there. It's 16 thousandths of a second between them 3. That is insane.
To be honest, mate, the one thing we haven't really taken account of here, I'm absolutely loving Thursdays. Down to 6th place is less than 1.5 tenths.
Yeah. I will say that is quite insane, to be honest, how close it is here. And kind of just getting flashbacks to, what was it, 98 Hooray?
Yeah. But
was that?
Yes, that was very 97.
Was it 97?
97 when Jacques won the... Yeah, and Jacques Villeneuve. The one thing I'll say, GP2 this season's been super exciting, super looking forward to the second half of the season. Nothing to take away from GP1, but I feel like 19 of the drivers have been in GP1 this season, and Josh Verstappen McGill is in GP 0.5. He's definitely taken a big hold of that championship, and looks like he's on course for his next championship. But we are in an unknown state in GP2, which I like. I look forward to Thursdays.
Yeah, definitely. It's he has kind of flown away with it, the top step up to now. So having that sort of battle here is actually quite good, to be honest. Josh has just been dominant, to be honest, and
nothing to take away from him either. He's certainly got to grips with this game now, hasn't he? And just feels super comfortable out in front. They need to get some more drivers in GP1, I think. That might be a step up, because he's really been able to just bring his A game to almost every single race, and just been super consistent as well. And as you said, taking the majority of the wins. So yeah, hope you look forward to your second half of the season there.
Yeah. Fun.
Kuyk's game out on the intermediate. No idea why. His time is now not going to count.
Royal Rumble going wide at turn 9 there. He went right off.
No battery either.
No, that's him.
That's he's now got to sit there and cross his fingers, doesn't he, for the next minute or so, and hope that no one goes, or a few drivers don't go faster. Sticky Panda, he's deciding to go on another lap. He's got a Haas just up ahead of him. Is that going to help him or cause him a big headache?
Well, judging by the difference right now, I think it may cause him a headache due to, well, at this rate, judging by the standings right now, Sticky Panda Oh, and Dario actually gets out the way. So Dario is going to be eliminated. So is Parent Bowden, and we'll see how GTR is going to go. If he's going to be able to bring it up, as it's going to be only him really that could have a chance. And he's went right off and actually almost went into the back of I think that was Prof there, who went off at turn 4 of Repsol. So that's it. That's going to be the 3 that have been eliminated. Will be Dario, Parent Bowden, and GT Ord.
Yeah, and to contribute to that incident, Prof is going to have a 5-place grid penalty as well. I'm not sure if we're going to have a session restart or not after qualifying has concluded. But for now, he's got a 5-place penalty. He is through into Q2, as Lee said, and we've had quite a anticlimactic finish to Q1. You say that though, Lee? Is Dario not on the lap here? No, he wasn't. He was 8 seconds down, but he was gunning it at the final 2 corners. And Royal Rumble and Prof have got through by the skin of their teeth, as well as Danny. And look at that, Lee. Between 1st to 15th is less than a second, 8/10 of a second. You're on mute, mate.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely quite close between this bunch here tonight.
And don't be deceived, it did say on your screen that Coit's game was on the intermediate. That was a tyre that he was on, not his best set lap. So don't be confused if you see him in 4th on the inters.
No, luckily enough, we've not got that there. It just shows the best time in the tyre there. But we've got Ginge there getting the fastest lap of 112.029. And then just behind him was a Chuckle with a 12.043. Then Matt just behind that with a 12.046, and the Recoilix Gamer, Pipple Kennedy, Chuck, Super Striker, Matthew, Stephen Jones, Lee, Looney Munt, Royal Rumble, Prof, Danny, Sticky Panda, and they will all be moving on to the next qualifying session. Dario, though, won't be, same with Parent Bowden and GTR, and they will be starting in 16th, 17th, and 18th position. Regarding Prof, regarding that penalty, I think we may have a little bit of a lobby reset coming up for qualifying, after qualifying.
GT as well has got the wooden spoon at the moment in qualifying. He has been knocked out in Q1, 6 times this season, 6 out of 6 for him. So hopefully he can get himself out of Q1 and into Q2 next week. So, into Q2, 15 drivers now to sort out who gets into the top 10 and into that coveted Q3, and then the fight for pole position. And who's going to be the first to blink? I think it's Stephen Jones, one of our new drivers. Again, the hats off to RTG as well, I think, as we're at the half point. Still got the majority of the drivers who started like we do most seasons. We obviously do have a few that drop out and new drivers that come in throughout the season. But, you know, how many months and how years have we seen these names on the left-hand side of our screen? So many of them that have stuck around for so long. Which is one of the reasons why the racing's so good and so close here in qualifying, especially.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of starting to appear like an actual F1 season, where it's only a few new drivers coming in each season, or sometimes even none really. But yeah, it's having these guys knowing how to push each other pretty much. It makes racing a lot better. You know, that unpredictability could end up sort of making people a bit more hesitant to go for overtakes sometimes, maybe.
Yeah, so I wish it could come up on the top of your screens, guys, who are watching at home, but we'll relay it back to you. There will be a restart to the lobby at the end of the session. Prof got hit from the rear by an AlphaTauri. I don't think it was Coix, I think it was his teammate. and he got a 5-second penalty for it, where I don't feel like there was anything that Prof could have done to avoid it. So there will be a lobby reset, which means we'll have about a 3, 4, 5 minute add on to the time of the live stream. Me and Lee will probably just go on pause for a minute for that part, and then we're back into a new session. Adds another dynamic now though, Lee. Don't have to worry about tyres anymore. We're going to get two fresh sets in this whole session.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit fortunate in that regard. Kind of wondering how some people will be out in mediums. Of course, they won't realise possibly at the moment. Well, it's only Stephen Jones who's out on the mediums right now, but I think he went out a little bit earlier, and I don't think he has got the knowledge yet that it's going to be a lobby restart after Q3 due to the, well, EA and their bull penalty system sometimes. But yeah, so we're going to have a lobby restart. Just going to have to bear with it. Stephen Jones there putting in the first lap there. We've got Chuck Holt coming around to start his lap, who's going to be next to set a lap. I think it may be Pippo Kennedy, is that, or Ginge? No, it's going to be
Pippo Kennedy next. Yeah, and he makes his way to the line. The reigning GP2 champ does a 1:11.9. The first time we've seen that this afternoon. Super Striker getting on the front row with him, getting close, but not close enough to the 1:11s. And I think Ginge is the next one up as he makes his way around the 180-degree right-hander of turn 13 into Euro Car, where his car was getting all out of shape there and seesawing at the wheel through the final corner, almost flat in qualifying trim.
What?
Disqualified from the session for Matthew for going the wrong direction.
He spun out at turn 4.
And there's absolutely nothing we're going to be able to do about that either, because we can't restart the session from now, and he will be starting in 15th place.
So, sorry John, a little bit of bad news there for you.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do about that, unfortunately, because we can't restart the whole session. It will add another sort of 20-odd minutes onto our time. Other drivers won't be happy, especially if they didn't get through into Q2 next time. And obviously we can't just make up a place from later on because he never even got to set a lap at all. Unfortunate. Send a email to the CEO of EA. That's what I'll say to you.
Yeah, definitely. It's they do need to sort some stuff like that. Sometimes the game could be a bit too severe, and other times it could be a bit too lax. I will say, in this case, it was a bit too severe, and Prof actually spun out at the same place as Matthew at turn 4 of Repsol. Managed to get it going again, though.
I don't understand why the game doesn't give you a certain amount of meters that you can go in the wrong direction before you get disqualified, like 20 meters. Like,
yeah, I get that.
I don't understand it. And even things like Monza with the start-finish straight, where the runoff is at the end if you outbrake, but you can't chicane the bollards. Why don't they make it so you can actually chicane it, and then don't get a penalty if you do it correctly?
Yeah, it's
just those little things.
It's just one of them things. It's just them little tidbits, really, is it?
Yeah, but we can't even get them to get the game right. I mean, it looks great. It never doesn't look great. It's the one thing we never compliment them on. The game always looks really good.
But doesn't always behave the best.
No, and I think they kind of go for the more cosmetic version of the game, which they've done with things like FIFA in previous times. I'm going to get on a rant, so I'm going to stop. Pippo Kennedy, is he on a lap yet? It seems like he's going fast enough to be on a lap, doesn't he?
Sticky Panda.
Oh, sorry, Sticky Panda. We'll see. Does look like it in terms of his Sector 1 time. And in terms of his Sector 2 time as well. But he isn't going overly fast, unlike his Aston Martin teammate. But he is alongside the reigning champ after he took over Tiny Seat, who has dropped out this season. One of those who has stuck around for a while, so I'm sure he'll still stay in the league itself, but you might not just see him on the live streams for a little bit, and may have other commitments, but I'm sure he will stick around.
Didn't even know.
Huh?
I just completely never even knew that he'd actually left.
No, he's just left. He's just dropped out of his seat, but he's not left.
Dropped his seats on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was meaning.
Yes, yeah, so the two newbies now are Stephen Jones and Sticky Panda.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good then. I've got a couple of drivers. Stephen Jones just starting his lap now. We'll stay on board there. See a McLaren coming out there. See if that's Ginge or... That'll be Ginge, actually, sorry.
Yeah, it's going to have to be Ginge. Stephen Jones now coming through turn 2. Now turn 3 of Renault. And now making his way up the hill slightly to Repsol. And then through that long right-hander. A lot of long sweeping corners here, as it's designed as a MotoGP circuit. Something else interesting, Liberty Media, I think, have made a bid for the rights to MotoGP as well. So you never know in the future, there might actually be support races from MotoGP at Formula 1 events. And Stephen Jones through turn 9. Now that would certainly bring in some ticket sales, wouldn't it? You get to see Formula 1 and MotoGP, the top of the two motorsport categories on one weekend.
Yeah, the second top of 2 wheels and the top of 4 wheels. I say second top.
TT.
The reason I say that is, Isle of Man TT.
Yeah, definitely. But it's not a series, though, is it? The Isle of Man, it's a one-off. It's like the Indy 500. It is a one-off event. But yeah, no, I agree with you. But in terms of a series, as Stephen Jones has a 112 007.
Do you want to know one thing I want to know about them racers though? Is how could they keep that bike standing up straight with balls that size?
He's talking about the tennis balls in their pockets.
Yeah. No, honestly, how insane that the drivers are.
I would rather refer to it as they had a bit of a screw loose. I'm not sure if that's very 2024 either, to be honest.
I bet.
A couple. Yeah. Especially at the TT. I mean, if you come off, you're going to lose some brain cells coming off at that place, and you'll end up in someone's front room watching Call the Midwife. Royal Rumble now making his way across the line. He did a cool down lap and is now starting a fresh hot lap here.
He's not got the battery though. He's only got 54% battery. I don't think that's going to be enough to get him through. Ginge there goes and puts in a 111.708. So we've got 3 drivers now into the 111s. That's Ginge, Matt and Pippo Kennedy. They're top 3. Got Prof just starting another lap there.
Yeah, he's, as you said, just started. Royal Rumble now coming into turn 7 and 8 of TV3. Love turn 9. I think he was flat there as well. Down towards turn 10. And then through the slight left of turn 11, through turn 12, up to Eurocar.
Oh, he's running low on that ERS. That's going to hinder him coming out with the pace coming out of...
It's going to be a 112, isn't it? 112.4.
Yep, oh, he's going to have to get back around quick.
He hasn't got the fuel. Yeah. That was his final go.
No, he's going to have to try and... he's not going to have time.
No, he's not going to have time. Prof on his personal best lap at the moment, selling PBs in the first 2 sectors around the final corner of turn 14. He's in 13th at the moment, stays 13th fastest, a 112.710. Danny through TV3.
Prof there puts in 112.7 there. Good enough for 13th at the moment.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're here.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was like on mute when I wasn't.
Oh.
Oh, Danny there, just on the exit of 13, or 12, sorry, into 13. People struggling with the rear end out of 13.
Yeah, they'll be trying to keep as much of that rear wing off as possible, and they want to be trying to get the throttle down as much as they can. Bit of a...
And Royal Rumble here going right off the circuit. It was almost on the actual rallycross circuit here at Catalonia. Letting cars go by. Keeping an eye on that clock. Got just over 2 minutes to go. A lot of drivers actually out early on in Q2.
I actually forgot this.
He must, yeah, he's... Say again?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's in the pits now, but yeah, I was...
What about rallycross? How did I know that?
Yeah, no, I forgot that that it was rallycross done here.
Yeah,
well,
Sector 3 has a rally. Yeah, Sector 3 has a rallycross track. I remember doing it on one of the rally games. Great motorsport actually. Rallycross is a bit mental.
Oh, yeah.
As Chuckle comes across the line, third fastest for him.
So we've got another one into the 111s. Nicely done there. Kayak's Gamer though. I think he's going to be the next one up, is he?
Oh no, Super Striker, was it? No, it was another Red Bull somewhere. Or was that Lee just starting his final attempt? I think it's Lee starting his final attempt.
Second, 111.727. 5 thousandths of a second quicker than Chuck.
This guy is...
Wow.
Yeah, he's been on pole twice along with Pippo Kennedy, so keep an eye out for those two when we go into Q3, if they both get themselves into Q3. Pippo actually on the cusp here, believe it or not, is Lee starting his final attempt, so is Looney Man. I think he's going to be the first person to actually physically see the checkered flag. Maybe not actually, we've still got 40 seconds. They have all come out very early, haven't they? Looney Man to the line now, he gets himself inside the top 10 proper. Lee is now the one on the cusp as Sticky Panda starts his final attempt as well. And we've got a bit of a wait for Lee, who I think it's going to be close whether he sees the checkered flag or not, actually. He might make it across the line before the flag is shown. Lee setting personal best sectors in the first two.
Yep. Sticky Panda, we're going to see what he's going to be able to do going through Sector 2. Lee improves 111.979. So Sticky Panda, he's only up by the smallest margins. He's going to have to try and claw back about half a second out of this final sector, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it here.
Yeah, he's done a fastest first sector and he's down on his second. Is he going to be up in the third? Is he going to get through into Q3 for the first time this season? No! 11th fastest, but he was still around 4/10 off getting himself into Q3. And look at that, how close it was between Looney Man and Stephen Jones, the only two yet to get into the 111s. And we've only got 3/10, Lee, between first to 10th.
No. Holy fudge.
Less than 3/10, actually, technically. 0.298 between first to 10th.
That is just insane, I will say. That how close these guys are here tonight. And I'm actually looking forward to qualifying 3 more than anything right now. Lee putting time 1:14, he just backed off, so he still stays P8. But yeah, these guys quite close here tonight. Ginge getting the fastest there, 111.708. Nicely done there from him. Kayaks in second, then it was third was Chuck, then Chuckle. Super Striker in fifth, Matt 6th, 7th was Pippo Kennedy, Lee in 8th, 9th was Looneyman, and Stephen Jones was 10th. They'll be moving on to Q3 where they will battle it out for that pole position and that extra point. The ones who won't be moving on though will be Sticky Panda in 11th, 12th will be Royal Rumble, 13th Prof Danny, 14th and 15th will be Matthew after being unfairly disqualified. and I've actually had a comment regarding that from John saying Matthew should not have been disqualified as he was waiting for the other drivers to pass to go back on the track. It's an EA bug that needs fixed ASAP. And yeah, John, I do agree 100%. Like I said earlier, this game does kind of like to mess people over in that sort of regards. And yeah, I do feel the same pretty much. It was an unfair disqualification. But now, moving on from that, we've got the final qualifying session, 12 minutes, where these top 10 drivers will battle it out for that extra point and the spot closest to turn 1. Who's going to be first out of the garage?
Can take their time here. The lap time is quite short now compared to what it used to be. It used to be sort of high 110s, now low 110s, obviously with all the changes that have happened here. And it looks like we've got a bit of a queue coming out. And Sticky Panda putting in the comments quickly, he forgot to actually put a setup on, so he's actually quite happy with P11 with no actual custom setup. So, yeah, I would probably agree, to be fair. That's pretty good. We've got a Haas, Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin all lined to stern at the moment, out of turn 3 Renault.
Well, I will say, Sticky Panda, fortunately enough, you could have a wee chance to get it back on come the restart. I'm only laughing because it's something I've done myself a few times, and yeah, it's just one of them mistakes that's easy to make. I mean, I've seen you do it as well a few times, Joe.
What are you on about? Don't know what you're on about, mate.
Setups. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I think Looney Man is going to be first. I'm going to gloss over what Lee just said there. Looney Man's going to be first, then Stephen Jones, then Pepper Kennedy. After that, get with it, Lee. And we've still got the 2 Red Bulls in the session together, and I think that's the only driver pairing we have left. It certainly is. And we'll see those 2 after that. And then the Williams is just coming out, so it's Matt F1 after that. And here we go with some final flying laps. And Stephen Jones very close to the back of the Welshman of Looney Man as they make their way out of turn 2 and through the mighty flat out turn 3 of Renault.
Yeah, I think I'm unsure whether Stephen Jones being as close as he was is a good idea. I mean, sometimes it could be a good idea, but regarding Looney Man, I'm unsure who's going to be quicker in these regards. You've got Mercedes there just on the left-hand side of Chuckle. It wasn't the best, I would say.
And who is going fastest at the moment? The fastest first sector set up to now is by the Red Bull of Lee. As Looney Man takes the fastest second sector.
Yeah, but he's going to take the fastest final sector for now, I would say.
He will do, because he'll be the... Oh, how close is he? He's actually fallen back now, so he's not going to do such a great lap time. 1:12.5 for Looney Man and 1:13.2 for Stephen Jones. And Pippa Kennedy dives into the pits after he invalidates his lap time. Here comes Super Striker. He goes on to provisional pole, then Lee behind him. 1:12 dead for him. 1:11 for Super Striker. 1:11.8 for Matt F1. Might see him adorn the pole position a little later on. And I think we're waiting for Quick Gamer, who has 2 of the 5 poles this season so far.
Yeah, but he's just coming around at turn 12 now, where it's just going to be pretty much flat out from here. We'll see if he's going to lift off in the final corner or not. He does just a smidgen, but he ends up missing that apex also. But now to the line he goes and takes that provisional pole with 1:11.708 for now. People know how that could all change in just a moment, as Chuckle just coming around at turn 10 now. And into 12, it's going to be pretty much flat from here. He's got a car just ahead of him. I think that's Haas.
Looks like it. Yeah, he got out of the way anyway. To the line. Is he going to put it on provisional pole? He certainly is. A 1:11.5 for him. I said the benchmark is a 1:11.2. A little way off that. That was set by Josh Verstappen McGill in the Monday tier a few seasons back. We'll see if we get down to that kind of level a few seasons on, even though we're in the second tier of RTG. Here comes Chuck up to the penultimate of Eurocar, and then to the final corner. A touch of a lift, a downshift for him, back up to 8th over the line. Gets himself onto the front row, a 1:11.6 for him. And now we've got Ginge and Pippo Kennedy, who decided to come out a little earlier. Pippo, though, had invalidated the previous attempt, as we see Ginge now start his first attempt in Q3. Oh, could you just take over a sec, Lee? My TV's having that issue again.
Ginge on a lap right now, and down in 9th. Well, not with a time at the moment. He's just coming up to turn 7 and 8 now, up to 9. Let's see, did he? Yep, he did manage to take that flat there. DRS wide open to the end of sector 2, a 50.428, so he's on for quite a good time here by the looks of it at the moment. Around turn 12 he comes. Now I'll keep an eye on the telemetry at the bottom. Just a small lift there coming around the final corner. This is going to be a belter. Oh, 1:11.663. Thought that was going to be a little bit quicker, but it doesn't. Pippo Kennedy, only driver to settle up yet. He's on a lap right now, just came around turn 4.
It said a purple sector 1, and it was a purple first sector for the reigning champion, the championship leader, tied with the man in second in Q3 at the moment, Chuck, through turn 9 and up towards the timing beacon in sector 2. Is it going to be a purple second sector as well? No, it's not. It's a personal best. Around turn 12, got to have a lot of patience there into the penultimate of Eurocar 13 and then into the final of Catalunya 14. And he goes 4th fastest, and only less than a tenthly separate the top 4. Less than 3/4 of a tenth separate the top 4.
That is madness, I will say. Let's see, we'll have a wee quick look there. So
Stephen Jones on a lap. Going through Repsol there. He was seesawing at the wheel, so having some trouble as he goes through Seat. The slowest corner now here at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, through TV3. Turn 9 dealt with nicely as well. The battery getting quite low on the Haas. Luckily, he's not got long to go. And quite a lot of corners still to negotiate though. Turns 10, 11 dealt with. Now turn 12, the corner that drivers have been struggling with seemingly the most in qualifying, especially at the rear end. Went quite wide through the final corner there, lost a lot of momentum, and it's only 9th fastest for him.
Yeah, personally, I think if you managed to get that final corner right, you could have possibly even moved up to 7th place. I would have, I thought, because it does take quite a bit of speed out of you if you do mess up that final corner. Of course, it is just a straight line to the line pretty much from there.
Yeah.
You want to get as best exit as possible out of there. Right now, so Super Striker, he's on to get the best exit out of turn 12 there. He uses up all of that track there. I honestly thought he was going to go for a invalidation. There we go, absolutely abusing that track there in the final sector.
And he actually went slower.
Yeah, which was actually quite insane.
Surprising, yeah, surprising. And Stephen Jones here on an in-lap. I don't think he's got enough time to get back out again now. He's literally got a minute from now. Oh, drivers getting off-sighted by that pit lane entry there, don't they? That tends to happen quite a lot. That wall seems to be closer than it actually looks.
Yeah, I think it's just with it tightening up a little, and then of course as you get just that little bit further in at the end of the corner going into the pit lane, there's a wee bit of the wall that sticks out, and you've got to be really careful you don't hit that on the left hand side, as it could easily just take your wheel clean off. And I would say it would even be worse if it's the car in front of you that's just went and done it, as you'll be kind of stuck in the pit lane for a bit.
Yeah, well, that will be the end of your qualifying session, wouldn't you? With such little time to go. Is Stephen Jones going to be able to get back out again? I don't think so now. 1 minute 20 on the clock. It's too late for him to get back out again for another attempt. As Ginge starts his final. And we'll ride with him for the foreseeable. And he's actually going slowly here. And maybe deciding to do a cool down and go again. He's got just enough time to get round and do another one. So who's going to be the first one up? It's going to be Chuck, who won last week in Belgium.
Yeah, we managed to put on quite a phenomenal drive. Chuck did anyway. But it is this week now, and we're at Spain. And he still looks like he's managing to do quite well. He's up in second at the moment. Just a tenth off of his brother, who's actually sitting in P1 at the moment. Well, in professional pole at the moment. Ginge to the line. Is he quicker? No, but he's doing another lap. Pipple's round. He ain't going to be going any quicker.
Oh dear, he's gone round at turn 4.
We've seen a few people there coming off at turn 4, just giving it a little bit too much welly, and having that tail end going into the front. Have a wee look who's going to be up next. Oh, it's Chuck, goes fastest, 1:11.428. Next up we've got Lee in that Red Bull. Don't know what he managed to put in there, missed it. 1:11.889. But Chuckle doesn't manage to improve enough. Ginger's round at turn 5.
He's made a mistake as well, so him and Pippa Kennedy aren't going to go any faster. Looney Man isn't. No, so that means Chuck is going to take pole position here. His second pole of the season. Had 3 pole sitters so far in the first 6 races, and they've all took 2 each. Chuck, Pippo, and Coix Gamer.
Yeah, we'll all say absolutely smashing there. Chuckle just that little bitty behind him, unfortunately. And then Ginge, Pippo and Looneyman all messing up on their final laps. But unfortunate there. But now we're just going to have to wait for the guys to get back into the pits. Oh, Matt Binder on pit entry. Oh, it's easily done. I've done it myself. But right now, we've got them all back into the pits. Well, almost.
Of course, now we are going to have a lobby reset. So Chuck and Chuckle are going to be on the front row together. And me and Lee will just go for a couple of minute break until we get into the new lobby. So stay there or go and get yourself a quick drink and be back with us in a second.
Well, wait a minute. Let me go for
Oh,
quick
sorry.
round.
Yeah.
You're a bit ahead of yourself there, laddie. Right now, there we've got Chuck and Chuckle will be starting on the front row, just a ball here between them. There, and we've got Ginge in third, Pipple Kennedy in fourth. We've got Koyx in fifth, sixth was Matt Lee in seventh, Loneyman in eighth, ninth was Super Striker and Stephen Jones rounding out the top 10 there. And that'll be their grid positions come the race. So, now you can take over that way.
So, me and Lee will be back in a few minutes once we get the lobby restarted. And as I said, go and get yourself a drink and come back and watch this race, this 33 lap race around Barcelona. Welcome back, everyone. We're about to get underway for this 33 lap race, and hopefully it will be a really good one. To be fair, we've got Chuck and Chuckle on the front row together. Chuck on pole, Chuckle in second. And just remember, we've got no formation laps, so we've got to be on our toes for the start. I've still got a please wait screen. I don't know if Lee has as well. Oh, there we go. So, race director. Obviously, we've got fresh tyres for everyone with a lobby reset. And where did Prof end up in the end after not having to take that penalty? He's going to be starting 13th. It's going to be a bit of a comeback drive from Matthew, having to start 15th after being disqualified, not of his own accord, seeming like he had a spot of bad luck on that one.
Yeah, but it's one thing I will certainly say is it was unfair how he went and got disqualified for being safe. You know, so it's like John says, it's something that EA needs to sort out as soon as possible. It's absolutely bull.
Yeah, it really is. Most drivers starting. Most drivers starting on the softs. Yeah, most drivers starting on the softs. Interesting call, actually. A couple going on to the hards now. I say a couple, only one, Danny. And the rest are on the mediums. And now it's starting to become a bit of a 50-50 split between the softs and the medium runners. As I said, hopefully we're going to have a really good race for you this evening. This track seems to be better for overtaking now than it used to be, and can throw up some really good races. So we'll get ready for the start. It's looking like a bit of a 50-50 split between the softs and the mediums, potentially one or two going on the hard tyres, so keep an eye out for them doing longer stints. And I think it's more than likely going to be a two-stop here this evening rather than the one. And may see people who do try to go on the hards try and do that longer stint.
Yeah, I mean, having Danny been that little one that's pulling it out of left field here and being the only one that's on the hards, well, was now. Everybody's on the mediums or softs now. He's changed his mind, so it doesn't look like we're going to be having any hard runners at the start of lap 1.
No, and we should be just about ready to get underway. Yeah.
Well, now there's only 4 runners on the softs now.
Okay, and now we're about to get ready to get underway. We've got 5 red lights, and we're now underway for the race here in Catalonia for round 6, and Chuck gets away extraordinarily well, and so has Chuckle actually. Pepper Kennedy got a good launch, and now he's already up into 3rd place as we dive down into turn 1. The 2 Red Bulls make contact there, and Super Striker happens to take evasive action and go off onto the rumble strips there. And he is now down almost right at the very back, as we see Royal Rumble here trying to make his way up the inside of Repsol. And this fight will carry on towards Seat Corner. And the Alpine once again trying to go to the inside here and gets the move back at him. And Royal Rumble now having to slot back into 10th place. Thinking about it at TV3, but yet to get that place back. Still,
Matthew on Danny here, coming up into the inside of turn 9 here, and looks like he's just getting pushed a little bit out of room there.
And there's a Ferrari off in the background as well. Pern Bowden lost his front wing as well as Prof and Royal Rumble now going side by side, wheel to wheel through turn 12. And will this be done? It is before we get to Eurocar.
Yep, having a look at the moment, we've got Sticky Panda up 4 places from 11th there. Absolutely making the most out of a little bit of the chaos that happened. Matthew, though, going up the right-hand side of Royal Rumble there. They made a little bit of contact coming up. And now into turn 1. Matthew's going to have the inside line for turn 1. And he manages to get it done. They're taking a bit of litter there. And at the same time as that, Sticky Panda also moved up in another position on Lee. And this guy's actually doing quite nicely now. Of course, from starting in 11th to having no setup there. Nicely done, being able to recover from that.
We saw Coit's gamer there going quite wide between Repsol and Sayat. He was able to hold on to his 5th place for now, but not looking the most comfortable with a heavy fuel load on board. Through TV3 and now up towards turn 9 as we go uphill to the highest point of the circuit. And are we going to see Matthew now go for another move on Prof in the Alfa Romeo? To the inside he goes, job done, easy peasy from the McLaren driver there. And we're about to see DRS be enabled, but we won't see it until we get to the straight between turns 9 and 10.
Yep, certainly having a look. Let's see, Sticky Panda making the most out of them soft tyres. And we've noticed that Perrin Bowden's actually just went on to the hards. So how long they're going to last up, as anyone has guessed, Stephen Jones there making up a place on Looneyman, up into 8th place now. Oh, and he makes a slight, had to make a slight correction there, and now he could be losing that 8th place already. And yeah, he's ended up losing that place to Looneyman. And could he be losing the 9th there? Not much, just ends up sitting behind, being a little bit cautious. Didn't want to throw it up the inside too soon. Don't want to try and ruin your race this early. We've still got about 30 laps to go. Could we see an overtake?
Oh, is Matthew trying to go the long way round, then the up and under, the switcheroo from the McLaren driver. Now going to have to try the scenic route around turn 12. Is he going to get it done? He certainly is. What a lovely move from the McLaren driver there, showing what skills he has with his racecraft.
Yep, you can definitely tell he is.
Change for the lead, sorry. Can't even stop to ponder on that last move as Chuck now gets up into the lead.
Yeah, I will say that Matthew, you could definitely tell he is on a mission right now. He is really, really frustrated with what happened in qualifying. You could tell that he's eager to get back up there into where he feels that he deserves to be, which would be for him on the podium. But judging there, exit turn 4, he just gets that little bit on the grass and it unsettles him a little. Doesn't lose him too much time. He's still managing to keep within distance of Stephen Jones and Looneyman, but and he spins it near enough. Loses the tail end coming around turn 7 there.
And all the hard work that he'd done earlier on, and especially with the overtake last lap, is all gone down the pan, and he's got to pick himself up and get back on the horse and get those overtakes done again. It's going to be a second take for the McLaren man. The first take wasn't good enough.
Yeah, fortunately enough, if he is going to make an error, it's better to be at the start of the race. That way it could easily be changed due to, well, increased chance of possible. Not going to say it. But Looneyman there making up that place back up into 8th there. Nicely done there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Getting that position back, using that DRS to full effect. The top 7 here still staying within each other. Lee getting past Sticky Panda after he made a little bit of an error there. And I just see Stephen Jones there being overtaken by Matt there.
But not for long. Yeah, not for long. But I say that, they might even try and go side by side through TV3. It doesn't look like that's going to happen though. It's definitely more of a single file corner, those two. Through turn 9, and Stephen Jones going awfully wide there. Are we going to see a move from Matt? No, lifts out the throttle, decides to stay behind. And in the middle part of this train for now, as you see Prof there going quite wide as Perrin Bowden gets the first time penalty of the evening. And GTO trying to go around the outside at turn 12 as well. Actually goes off the circuit slightly. Is he going to be able to keep the place? And he actually got it done on the outside of Eurocar. And then has to get the place back.
That would only be fair.
Here comes Royal Rumble.
Oh, he breaks up pretty late
Oh, and I think he went over
almost.
the. Oh, Cook's game is out. What? Yeah, and that is the safety car. Lee's out as well. They've both gone into each other by the looks.
Oh no, that was. I think Lee just had a little bit of a slip there. I don't think they actually collided.
And one of the drivers who have been up there for that championship fight on 94 points as we came into this race, is now not going to be scoring any, and that might cost him when we get to the final race in Qatar.
Yeah. But now, who are we going to see pit? We've just seen Super Striker pit for the medium compound. Who out of the top bunch?
I think everyone on the soft tyre, which is starting with Sticky Panda, then Stephen.
Everyone.
Yeah, maybe.
Everyone's pitting.
There will be one. There will be one that stays out. There you go.
Oh, who's that? Prof. So he's going to be the one that's leading us away then, come the restart.
And of course, the tyre's not that old, to be fair. So, it might be a good gamble that he's taken here. Interesting mix of tyre as well. Everyone going for the mediums, all the hards.
Hard almost overtaking the safety car.
Hards will go to the end. I think just mediums won't though. So I think they're going to go for a 2-stop to the softs at the end. And of course, they're going to have a fresh air.
Yep, they're going to have to try and conserve them hard tyres a little as they go through this race. It's going to be a bit of a tall order, I will say, in order to get them to last that long. Unsure about how things will go. Of course, these folks on the mediums will definitely be needing to pit again. So it is most definitely going to be a 2-stop race here now. So is everybody caught back up? Yep, they have, and Prof is still staying out in the lead.
Yeah, Perm Bowden and Super Striker yet to catch back up. They're the only two. Prof obviously having that 3-second time penalty to his name. I'm sure these two will catch up though before the end of Sector 2, where we will most likely be getting back racing again at the end of lap 8, start of lap 9. So, how is Prof going to fare at the start of the restart of the race, should I say? Seeing as he's the only one, well, sorry, Perm Bowden is as well, he's on used tyres as well. But he's on the hard, so a slightly different picture he might paint. Prof, though, they're all going to be breathing down his neck.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just having a wee look back at trying to see what I could see with the incident that happened with Koyx and Lee, but it looked like there was a bit of a delay between when Koyx was out of the race and when Lee was out of the race, so I'm unsure about what happened there, whether they both crashed into each other or not. I think it may have been, but we won't find out until after the race unless any of them are in the chat section. But right now, we've got the safety car coming in. When is Prof gonna go? He's going now. Yep, there we go. He's managed to get it, not too bad of a launch, but you could see that Williams there bearing down on him, and he could be getting him going into turn one. And there he is. He's alongside before the braking zone, and there we go. The Williams is now in front, and now Chuckle is going to be bearing down on that Alfa Romeo. Wanting to get past there as quickly as possible. We've got a yellow flag in sector one. Who's that for? Is that Royal Rumble?
Royal Rumble, yeah, and he's about to get passed by Pern Bowden as well. He's Chuckle trying to get past at Repsol, and he does get past Prof. Is Ginge going to do the same thing? It's Seat, no, and then Pippo Kennedy tries to slide that Aston Martin in the gap on the inside, but he wasn't able to do so. Ginge now gets past Prof, and Prof is going to be falling like a rock at this point, and holding everyone up. And it's so hard in F123 to get the tyres heated up properly after they have been used.
Oh, wait a minute.
Here goes
from Sticky Panda around the outside, absolutely smashing. He's still alongside, and he's going to have the inside line going into turn 12. And now is that Prof's teammate Looney Man coming up. And what a move there from Sticky Panda there. He came from miles back, taking that outside line. It was absolutely spectacular. Looney Man now trying to get past his Alfa Romeo teammate.
And Pippo Kennedy trying to get past Ginge. And
Stephen Jones.
Yeah, Prof losing two places down the front straight.
Oh, is Stephen Jones going to make it two moves here? No, he isn't. He's not going to be able to get past the Looney Man
there. And here goes Danny, though, on the outside of Stephen Jones at the Renault curve. Is he going to get it done at Repsol? To the outside, braking later, gets onto the dust, though, and that loses all of his momentum, and he isn't able to challenge going towards Seat corner. Prof started lap 9 in first place. In the middle of lap 10, he's in 10th place.
Yep, the older tyres aren't. It was a bad call there. You could see the downright difference there between the pace and the fresh mediums to even the fresh hards to the older mediums. It's pretty much no contest.
Matthew back into a decent position here, into the top 10, 9th place, eyeing up that 8th place. We'll have DRS enabled once we complete lap 10, and there you go. But we won't see it for a little bit, but Pip Kennedy doesn't need it. Oh, they actually made contact there going down the start-finish straight. I wonder if that was a bit of frustration from Pippo, maybe?
I'm unsure. I'm actually currently focusing back on this back here for 6th place at the moment. It looked like Matthew was actually going to be lining up a move on Danny.
Matt is... Oh, look at this here for 12th place. We've got Matt, Royal Rumble, Prof and GT Ord squabbling over positions here at Repsol, and GT Ord now getting past Prof, and there you go. If you haven't learnt before, this certainly should teach you a lesson to pit under any safety car, because the track position just doesn't pay off. Within 3 laps, Prof's down in 15th. Sticky Panda fighting again with Ginge. Maybe a little too aggressively here.
I think maybe what Ginge is doing with him being on the hard tyres, he could possibly be trying to make sure to keep them to the end. But bearing that in mind, he has actually used up quite a bit of his battery. So he's almost running on fumes at the moment. Oh, Stephen Jones going for a move on the Looney Man here, and he's in front before the braking zone. Nicely done, up into 6th place there now. Matthew just managed to dispose of Danny.
It's very close between these 3, isn't it? Is Matthew going to go for it into Repsol? No, but I think Super Striker, however, is thinking about it. To the inside at Repsol, he's going to have the outside at turn 5. Seat, it's the long way round, the right way, the right way round. Not just yet. Sorry. No, got onto the sausage curb there as well.
Yeah, it does like to unsettle the car, and then Of course, when the car's unsettled, it's not going to be able to get the balance right for turning. Oh, that was a bit cheeky there from Looney Man. Gave Matthew the squeeze there going around turn 11 there. Or going into turn 11. I think Matthew was significantly enough alongside. His front wheel was in line with Looney Man's rear wheel. But right now it looks like Looney Man's going for a move on Stephen Jones. And it looks like Matthew could be going.
Oh, he certainly is. To the inside again, the line that obviously the better one to be going for overtakes, depending on if you're going into a chicane or not. But that was a job done once they came out of turn 1, and now he's biting at the heels of Looney Man and thinking about another one at Seat. Is it going to be a switchback like he did earlier on at turn 10?
Nope, he's waiting patiently for that DRS in just a moment.
Oh, to the outside at TV3. He gets it done. I've never seen that before. Wow. Wow. That was absolutely amazing. Unexpected. Looney Man probably didn't even expect it. And now Stephen Jones is thinking about it as well. Probably after the amazement of the move from Matthew and certainly putting his best overtakes here in Spain.
Oh, yeah, certainly. He's already had quite a couple of great overtakes. But right now, he's got over 3 seconds to go before he could reach the next car, which is his teammate of Ginge.
And look how good it's looking for Aston Martin and McLaren as well. As look at that in the background, Danny trying to overtake Stephen Jones, who's been in fights non-stop the last 4 or 5 laps. And Danny trying to hold on to it at the inside of Renault. And Super Striker trying to get involved as well. And yeah, they made contact. Yeah, and he's able to keep it on the road, but he has lost about two. Come on, Joe, get with it. 3/4 of a second to Stephen Jones. They're making us earn our keep today, aren't they?
Yep, most certainly are. And like we said before, the track before, the layout before was. Super Striker almost binning it there, coming out of turn 9, and then Dario almost went into the back of him with the loss of speed that he had. Now Matt looking up the outside at turn 10 there on Super Striker. Is he going to make it? He's going to have to pay off for turn 12.
Yeah, it could pay off for him. Turn 12 inside line. And yes, it works for him. Yeah, as you were saying, the track layer, it's a whole different animal, this circuit now, with the track changes and much better, and I actually thoroughly enjoy coming to Spain now. And here we go again, Super Striker, DRS open, so is Matt F1 to try and defend. Dario though could be a sitting duck, and here goes Super Striker again, and they make contact again, and he's now lost a couple of places and down in 14th.
I did miss that there. I'll see if we can get, there we go, fortunately enough for a little bit of a delay, because I was looking up at the guys at the front there. Oh, and it looked like he got turned in on there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So Super Striker ain't going to be too happy about that.
Dario has spun, lost the entirety of his front wing. He's going to have to pit. He's not going to be a happy bunny at whatsoever.
Was it? It wasn't Dario that he made contact with, was it?
Not sure who you made contact with, but I know Dario's the one that's come out the worst of the bunch.
That's a bit of a downer in that regard, but yeah, having we look further up, Stephen Jones on Danny now. Using that DRS effectively, going down into turn 1 there, nicely done.
And here goes Royal Rumble, big old lunge to the inside, and he's taken Matt F1 with him. And I just don't think he saw him coming. To be fair, Royal Rumble was coming from a different county there. He was so far back, and I think caught Matt F1 unawares. Actually, he went to turn into the corner, and suddenly there was a Red Bull on his inside.
All right.
Go and have a look back at it. It's a good view. It was a helicopter view.
Just doing that now. Oh yeah, he was quite a bit later on the brakes, Royal Rumble was. So yeah, that was quite a good overtake there. Looking at it now, so GTR going past the Royal Rumble here, going into turn 10, he's going to have the outside line and he manages to make it stick and it gets up into that 10th position. But yeah, like you were saying, that Royal Rumble there, Dario just didn't, was it Dario or Matt, sorry? It was Matt, sorry, yeah.
It was Matt, yeah.
Yeah,
As two Aston Martin switch places down towards turn 1.
but yeah, Matt just been that bit unfortunate. The Royal Rumble there, excellent on the brakes there, and managing to just feed it in. Matt just unfortunately just didn't see him coming, and yeah, just ended up turning in, unfortunately, into the wall. Now he's going to have to pit, and he's going to be down at the back of the pack now, behind Dario.
And this midfield has been absolutely non-stop ever since the safety car restart. So almost 10 laps now, as Matt now enters the pits and comes back out on a set of hard tyres, hopefully to the end for him. But yeah, been non-stop. Chuck and Chuckle as well. Haven't spoke about them for quite a while. They're still within DRS range of each other. There goes Super Striker. That could be another safety car. It certainly is. Just before the pit lane entry for these guys. And I'm sure they're going to go on to a set of mediums to the end of the race.
Turn 9. Turn 9. That's a bit unfortunate there. It's one of them corners where you're threading that pit hole.
He's wanting to maintain his crown. His teammate Sticky Panda not doing him any favours there in the pit lane, and not doing himself any favours whatsoever, either having a 5-second time penalty. He goes to the softs as well as Chuck. Is that a brilliant move or a really silly move? Matthew stays
sure
out,
that.
which is a really silly move. Sorry, John.
Matthew? Oh. What? He's the way he could go to the back. I'm confused by this. John,
Yeah.
any insight? Could you please let us know what the hell he is thinking, please? It would be greatly appreciated. Because this has just confused me, especially with the way things went at the previous safety car with Prof, and his tyres were only 6 laps old. And that was against other medium runners and a couple of hard runners. So, at this rate, it looks like he's going to end up getting swallowed up by the pack unless he pits, which even then he's going to end up getting swallowed up and going all the way down to, we'll have a wee quick look, he'll end up all the way down into the bottom 10.
Yeah, so I think he would come out
9th.
Maybe.
Oh, no! What? But Pipple's in.
Yeah, he wants to get rid of that 5-second time penalty.
Yeah, that is the best thing I would say, because it basically constitutes, what was it, like 20-second penalty, pit stop. So that's going to possibly put him down behind Prof. Maybe even. Prof's just coming around the last corner now. Let's see, where is this going to bring him out? It's going to be behind Per Boden and Dario. Oh! I have no idea what's happening with Matthew though.
Yeah, it's an odd one. It's certainly an odd one.
So, question for you then. You got any favourite races at this track over the years? Never mind that. We're about to get started racing again.
Yeah, never mind. I don't know, actually. Not too many, to be fair, because of the old track layout. So Matthew's going to get us underway. This is the second safety car restart today. It also is the second time that a driver on used tyres has got us underway and decided to take track position rather than come in and get a fresh set of tyres. So we'll see how this works out for him. My guess is not too well as he gets back underway again in between the last two corners. Does get a slight jump, but I'm sure Chuckle is going to be absolutely rapid on the fresh medium, as well as Chuck as well. But he's got to conserve his tyres to make sure they last to the very end. Looking back here, are we going to see any moves into turn one? Maybe between Pippo, who served that penalty, onto another fresh set of softs. He's going to try it on the inside of Pern Bowden now at Renault, and he has got past already.
Yep, watching this gap here out in front between Chuckle and Matthew, it does look like it's came right down already. So Matthew is definitely going to be vulnerable coming into possibly even turn 10. Looking at it right now, he's using his battery to try and keep a bit of a distance. Oh, and looks like he was embracing his inner Fernando Alonso a little there.
Oh, Chuck actually tried to go up the inside of Chuckle there, where he was thinking about a move on Matthew. Not got it done just yet, but he's certainly wanting to make up some places on that fresher, soft tyre. More grippy soft tyre, should I say. He says weaving down the start-finish straight. Not very sporting here from Matthew, as now he may lose one, maybe two places, as Chuckle tries the long way round. Inside line at 2. He's got it done already. Is Chuck going to try it at Renault or Repsol? More than likely going to try it at Repsol. Gets a good launch out of turn 3 into turn 4, and Matthew there weaving from left to right, maybe thinking he could unsettle Chuck in his decision making. Through turn 5 of Seat now on the exit. Chuck is back up into second, and now it looks like Matthew is going to be a sitting duck. And is he going to try and hold on for as long as possible, maybe hoping that a third safety car or a VSC will come out today?
Yeah, but it's certainly quite a conundrum as what is going to happen. Of course, I would say it would have been better for him to just pit, but, and again, not in the driver's seat. But what we can see here is contact happening between Danny and GTR there, going around turn 12, battling it out there. Danny trying to get past that Alpha Tauri there as we're going into turn 10. Now, race control is giving us notification that DRS is now being enabled, but it won't be just yet until after turn 9. Sticky Panda managing to get past Matthew, and Ginge going up the outside of Matthew there also.
And Matthew, he's gone on to the grass as well and had a problem himself. And then GTR spins out right in front of him. It has really been the most unlucky day for the McLaren driver after getting disqualified from qualifying and having more incidents, and then another one after that. He really has had a rotten bit of luck this evening, and GT I think he's got some questions to answer there, because he suddenly saw an Alpha Tauri appear right in front of his front wing.
Yeah, it's I would say that was quite a scary moment there, because I was sitting on board with Matthew as it was happening and seeing him just go offline at turn 2, and then later on at turn 3 just all that happen. Yeah, it's just a bit unsettling. Oh, a bit of smoke there coming out of the front right of Looneyman as he was going around turn 13. That's a bit of a weird one, never seen that before. But now it looks like there's a switch for the lead with that DRS. Chuck managing to get past Chuckle there and take charge of this race. We've got about 10 laps to go. And Chuck is in the lead on them soft tyres. Is he going to be able to hold it or until the end, or is Chuckle's medium tyres going to come into play? Royal Rumble looking up the inside of Prof here at turn 4. He's not going to be able to get sufficiently alongside enough to be able to get that move complete.
Yeah, as I said, just so many of these guys have been drawn to each other all race, and you know, there's been these pockets of racing going on, as we see some more going on here from Pippo Kennedy, trying to go up the inside and make up as many places as he can, and still yet to make up that place. He tries the long way round now. Danny really making it hard for him here, and then Pippo slots back behind him, chooses to wait for turn one, but they both have DRS. But Pippo's Aston Martin looking a little bit quicker in a straight line to the inside. Oh, look at the defending from Danny here. Bravo from the Merc driver as he holds on to 7th for the time being. A man after my own heart, I must say. That's some great defending from him, and he's been putting up a hell of a fight the last lap or so with a driver on arguably better tyres than himself.
Yep, he is certainly in the better tyres, but of course they will start to fade real soon, and Danny's will start to come into their own when the soft tyres start to come down a little. But until then, how vulnerable is Danny going to be? And it looks like he is still going to be quite vulnerable going into turn 10. Pippo Kennedy up the inside there, but is Danny going to come back up the inside again? He's going to turn that to the outside for turn 12, sorry. But Pippo Kennedy manages to hold on, but Danny now is going to be the only one with the DRS. So could we see this switch going down into turn 1?
I think we probably can, actually. Maybe not, as we see a little further ahead, the Haas of Stephen Jones getting past, and looking in the distance there, Prof getting past Royal Rumble. These guys have been fighting for the final points places in the top 10. Obviously points all the way down to last place in RTG, but the higher up you get, the more points you get. So this fight for, you know, the last places in the top 10 are really important for these guys, because there's still some very decent points up for grabs for them. And don't rule out Sticky Panda at the moment, Lee, as well, because he's right there with them, as well as Ginge, who's another driver who's up there in the in the championship fight, especially as Queeks Gamer's out of the race and not going to be able to score any points today.
Yeah, but Ginge has got a little bit of an advantage right now on Sticky Panda, of course. One being noting the Barry, as you can see that light flashing away.
Yeah.
The other will be the DRS that you'll have that Sticky Panda won't.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's going to have to make this move quite quick in order to try and keep that gap between second and third there. We've seen quite a few people switching places there. Winnie Man and Stephen Jones, as well as Chuckle and Chuckle.
Oh, 3 wide down towards turn 1. And here we go, Royal Rumble Prof and Matt F1. Matt F1 staying in 9th for now. We didn't get the best of views. Here goes Prof as well on the inside of Royal Rumble at Renault as he's gone wide. And that means a loss of a position for the Williams driver. Who's lucky to actually keep it on the circuit is Matt F1. Only just keeps it on the circuit there. The front left tyre is actually going onto the grass at the exit of Repsol.
Matty, they're actually putting in the fastest lap there. 1:13.680. So how do we looking at it now? The positions gained. Sticky Panda's actually gained the most up to now is 7 places. So could he be making it any more? He's still within that DRS range of Ginge, but he is dropping back slightly. Chuck retakes the lead there. And Williams there from Chuckle. These two have been battling all race with each other.
Yeah, they certainly have. I'm still unsure of which one of the two are actually going to win today. I say that. There are others in the mix as well.
Oh, Pern Boden off at turn 2. Ben Bowden's off, and he's spun it.
And hit the wall with the rear end of that Ferrari. Not been a pleasant afternoon for him.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised it didn't take a wheel or a wing off.
So still, Ginge and Sticky Panda yet to get within that 1 second gap. It's getting a little bit closer. And really, even these guys, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, they're not too far away from the leaders either at all. So competitive GP2 as Stephen gets out of shape there, out of turn 12. Saw it a lot in qualifying and still seeing it in race conditions. And Ginge actually just able to break away slightly from Sticky Panda.
Kennedy going past Stephen Jones there. They made a little bit of contact there as they come together. Now Pippo's going to be on the inside going into turn 1. Is Stephen going to send him back? No, he's not able to at this moment. Sorry about cutting you off just there.
No, it's fine. No problem. Still 1.5 seconds. Ginge is away from Chuckle. Those two haven't really been fighting though, so arguably he's not really had an opportunity to catch up per se. And Sticky Panda back within that 1 second gap as well. And keep an eye on Pippo Kennedy because he's looking rapid at the moment after getting that 5 second penalty. He's also, like Matthew earlier on, trying to make up for lost time and thinking he needs to be in a better position. And of course he's in the fight for the championship, and his main rival is leading the race as it stands, so he needs to get up as many places as he can, but the laps are against him now.
Yeah, one board with Pippo Kennedy right now. Oh,
Chuck
swapping places.
Yeah.
Juggle Brothers swapping places again. Pippo, I thought he was going to go for a bit of a dive there down the inside at turn 1 on Looneyman, but he decided better against it. Royal Rumble and Prof though swapping places for that 10th position.
We're going to see a move from... We're going to see a move from Sticky Panda, maybe? What's going to happen with Chuck as well? Has he been, you know, nursing the tyres, knowing that he needs them at the end? They haven't really been fighting all that much. And they've kind of just been, you know, pulling each other along up to now.
Yeah, well, I think that would be the best strategy for now to keep off that attacking McLaren behind them. There's only a quarter of a second, roughly, on average gap to, well, 2 to 4/10 gap to the DRS window, so they're needing to try and not battle as much in order to try and keep the battle to just themselves. But looking at it right now, Chuck actually going up the inside at turn 1 using that DRS, and it didn't look like there was much battle there from Chuck from Chuckle, sorry.
And that was interesting. We had Chuck passing Chuckle, we had Sticky Panda passing Ginge, we had Pippo Kennedy passing Looney Man, all at the exact same time there. Interesting. And look at this already. Look, Chuck over a second ahead of Chuckle. I don't know how he's gained that gap, but that could be crucial. And Sticky Panda now within a chance of second place, as well as Ginge.
I have no idea what happened there. Chuckle must have made a mistake considering the gap now. So now he's going to be under attack from Sticky Panda, and he's not got the DRS to fight back. So could this be the end of the battle for first?
No, I don't think so.
Keep it on the road.
I don't think so, because that soft tyre surely is going to start falling off soon, and the medium will be the better tyre at this point. So I'm not sure. We'll see. Still got 3 laps to go.
Yep, of course, still got 3 laps. That DRS will be hindering them quite a bit.
Oh, here comes Sticky Panda as well, getting closer and closer, and Chuckle teased Panda there, saying, "Go on, take the outside line," and then just before the braking zone, he moved across and slammed on the brake pedal and shut the door, slammed the door shut. But is Chuckle going to be able to get back within that 1 second that he needs?
He's only got a couple, well, 2.5 laps left to do it. Can he get it done? All he needs to do is just try and get within that DRS window. He's going to have to try and book it, but the thing is, he's running low on that battery.
Yeah, so is Chuck though. He's not on the best of fronts with his battery.
He's managed to save it up a little bit better up to now.
Oh, it's so close! Almost a second between them. And the other thing that's made this very interesting now, Lee, there we go, within a second, but at the wrong point. And I don't think he'll have DRS, he won't, but he has caught up somewhat. And guess what? Chuckle's brought friends along with him. He's got Sticky Panda, who's now going past and into second place. And Ginge also is in the mix as well, as we see the AlphaTauri of GTR spin out there between turns 10 and 11. And now it's a 4-way fight for the lead.
With 2 laps remaining, this is going to be insane. Lead car on soft tyres, the rest are on mediums. Who's going to come out on top? Sticky Panda here has absolutely been driven a phenomenal race. So is Chuckle and Chuck. And, well, Ginge, whereabouts did he come from? He's moved down a place, same as Chuckle, but regardless of that, they've still managed to do a pretty incredible race there today. I will say another honourable mention, though, would be Matthew. He did do actually quite well in the starting stages of this Grand Prix, but other things came between, and unfortunately hasn't came out the best. But right now, Sticky Panda, what is he going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to use this DRS to catch right up enough to get that Williams?
Well, he's certainly gaining quite a bit there, within 2 tenths now, and the race is most certainly on in this final lap. And it's looking more and more likely it's between Chuck and Sticky Panda now, who sort of was very, very quiet up to the last couple of laps and has now grabbed this opportunity with both hands and surely going to wait till the final DRS zone and gets out of shape, gets on the marbles into Sayat corner. And now exiting, this exit's important as well. You need to get close as we go through 7 and 8 and up the hill towards turn 9 for the final DRS straight of this race. We're on the final lap into the final sector. Are we going to see a move for the leader? We're going to see an attempt of an overtake. I don't think so. He's not close enough. Look how close the top 4 are, though. Within 1.5 seconds between all 4 cars. 4 different teams as well as we go around.
Oh,
Euro car. Oh, and now he's got Chuckle right on his gearbox through the final corner of turn 14. Ginge going for it as well. Chuck takes his 2nd win of the season. Sticky Panda his 1st podium, and Chuckle rounds out the top 3 with another podium this season. And look how close it was between the top 4. I don't even think it was just over a second between 1st to 4th.
Oh my God, that was incredible there.
Amazing stuff. Yeah, big thumbs up now, Barcelona. Every time I see it, I'm going to be looking forward to it. It's an excellent race now. It's brilliant. Credit where credit's due, though, to the RTG drivers. Obviously, they do, you know, can't think of the word. Obviously, without them, it probably wouldn't be as good as it is. Pern Bowden, the last driver to cross the line, 15th.
Yeah, we'll say incredible driving there from everyone out there. And I will say I would have to make Matthew just an honourable mention. But
I think Sticky Panda.
I was just a way to say that.
And that'll be his 2nd week in a row as driver of the day as well.
I will say he done an excellent drive here, managing to recover from 11th place up to 2nd there. So nicely done from him. But the win goes to Chuck there, who got that pole position and the win both. So nicely done there from him. He walks away with 29 points. And behind him is Sticky Panda in 2nd, driver of the day. Chuckle in third, Ginge was fourth. Fifth was Pippo Kendale, Looneyman was sixth, seventh was Stephen Jones, Danny was eighth, ninth was Matt, Prof was 10th, Royal Rumble was 11th, then 12th, Dario 13th, Matthew GT Ord was in 14th, Perm Bowden was 15th, and we had Super Striker, Koyx Gamer and Lee all retire from the Grand Prix and not make it to the end, unfortunately. But regardless of that, I would still say it was an absolutely smashing race there. Of course, noting Matthew as well, getting that fastest lap there, 1:13.680, forgot to mention that there.
Yeah, so he does get that extra point. It is a bit of damage limitation for him. Interesting where the championship's going to be next week, with Pippo actually finishing in fifth. Chuckle getting good points, Ginge as well. There might be a slight change, but I think he will be leading into next week. It will be Chuck leading the championship for the first time this season. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you want to watch next Monday's race, that'll be with Lee in Qatar for that one. A bit jealous of that, I'm not going to lie. So make sure you're there for that one. If you're back here next week for this fantastic GP2 season, we will be in Portugal next week, so that could be a good one as well. So make sure to check out Monday and Burnt River Racing on Wednesday next week as well, and then obviously round out your week with GP2. Keep subscribing to the channel. Almost it's 3:70 now, so keep going, keep pressing that red button, and like the video as well, and share it with your friends, especially if you want them to join RTG as well. Thanks very much for watching. It's goodbye from me and from Lee.
Peace out.